Welcome, Your Excellency. Just come on your tables kindly.
I know. And there we have it. We've officially launched the on the screens. Madam Ida Odinga is now registering for the Beyond Zero Half Marathon as well. Anticipate what Eliud Kipchoge's number will be. There we have it. Thank you all so much. We may now invite you to return to your seats as we commence with the rest of the program. And at this point, I would like to invite Peter Gasheru of IM.
The remarks I'm going to make are basically to pay tribute to our First Lady, Mrs. Margaret Kenyatta, who has inspired all of us, young, old, men, women, Kenyan, foreign, every one of us. I will tell you a little story. When I went to London to watch her First Lady run, actually, I don't think that London had ever seen such big crowds. They all came out. They could not believe that a First Lady of any country, leave alone Kenya, would actually come out to run for such a noble cause. Please give her a round of applause. You know, I have attempted, Your Excellency, many, many times to emulate you, to try and do some of what you do. But honestly, distinguished Kenyans, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our international partners, I do not think that the world has ever seen a First Lady such as ours. And I think that's why you had our colleague from the Ford Foundation saying that we should actually request her very kindly, very gently to establish a Margaret Kenyatta Leadership Institute. Because she leads in a manner that I've never seen anybody lead, with a lot of care, with gentleness, with patience, and with a lot of love.
Your Excellency, I am pleased to join you all here for the official launch of the 2020 Beyond Zero Half Marathon. The Beyond Zero Half Marathon remains an inspirational initiative that has continued to impact millions of Kenyans through its advocacy programs that touch on pregnant mothers, infants, children, young people, women, men, and other persons. Indeed, I am proud to have been invited to this event, as I can confidently say that I associate myself with the philosophy and objectives behind the initiative. Moreover, I am pleased to be part of the launch today because it heralds yet another challenge for the Beyond Zero initiative, and I am confident that the objectives which you seek to achieve through next year's marathon will be achieved. Your Excellency, I recently took part in INEO's 159 challenge with the aim and objective of confirming to the world that, indeed, no human being is limited. In their abilities if they set their sights on a goal. In many ways, this marathon speaks to the same message, that no human is limited to help enhance the welfare of others if only we put our hearts and minds to it. Further, through your able leadership, Your Excellency, it has proven that we can all work together for the greater well-being of society and humanity if we invest our efforts into it. I am therefore delighted to declare my support to Your Excellency in your endeavor for the next year's marathon and wish you and the entire team great success in all your endeavors. I urge all Kenyans of goodwill, both at individual and corporate level, to come out in large numbers to support Her Excellency in the initiative. I thank you.
Through the funds raised, we will continue to be responsive to the needs of communities by rebuilding or refurbishing and equipping specialized health units to serve communities in marginalized areas. In the long run, we will establish a Beyond Zero referral center to provide specialized care for mothers and children. The 5th edition of this marathon also commemorates International Day of Women, and we will celebrate our women and girls. I'd like to thank the panelists for their vibrant discussions that have both inspired and provoked us to refocus our collective commitment to change the lives of Kenyans. And most of all, I give my special thanks to Eliud Kipchoge and his dear wife, Grace, for taking time to be with us and for showing us that if we believe it, we can do it. I look forward to seeing you at the start of the race, for which I've already started training. Well, I did train this morning with Eliud. And with those remarks, I declare the Beyond Zero Half Marathon 2020 officially launched. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and partners of Beyond Zero, good afternoon. I'm delighted that you have come to join me in launching the Beyond Zero Half Marathon 2020. This is also a day when we observe the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. People living with disabilities must be protected and given the dignity to live meaningful and productive lives as part of our communities. This year's theme urges us to break the barriers that persist in access to services in health, education, and employment of persons with disabilities. The theme calls on us to reflect what we have achieved in integrating all persons without discrimination as we progress to fulfill the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda pledge to leave no one behind. The SDG agenda also resonates with my Beyond Zero work since 2014. At that time, Kenya was considered to be one of the most dangerous places in the world for pregnant women to survive. It was also a time when the prevalence and transmission of HIV among infants was an urgent issue. Together, we have worked hard to find solutions by investing resources and concentrating our energies to turn around the distressing data on preventable deaths. At a personal level, I have committed to run marathons and called on your support to join me. And I thank you all for being Beyond Zero champions. This is what has kept me going. The impact of the mobile clinics and the Beyond Zero medical safaris we launched last year have touched many millions of lives through free access to medical services and further through advocacy and awareness messages. Your encouragement, your inspiration, and your dedication has contributed to the gains we have made in saving lives of mothers and children and reversing the mother-to-child transmission of HIV. In the past year, we have refocused our resources advocacy, and time to support the government's advancement towards universal health coverage. But our work is not finished. The worrying trend of increased cancer hurts our families, our communities, our nation. In addition, increase of new adolescent HIV infections threatens to disrupt Kenya's opportunity to reap our demographic dividend from a youthful generation. The gains we have made towards the elimination of mother-to-child transmission is threatened when HIV-positive mothers miss their antenatal visits or fail to access skilled deliveries. We have invested in creating awareness around reproductive health risks. Recently, we celebrated the launch of the policy of national elimination of female genital mutilation by 2022. Let us end harmful practices that put the lives of millions of women and girls at risk. I remain committed to continue supporting initiatives that uplift lives of mothers and children. I continue to invest in training and skills building of community nurses and health workers by expanding the number of Beyond Zero scholarships from 100 to 200 in the next year.
Taifa